Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Ismail here from Ismail's Labs. Welcome to this series. In this series, I'll be teaching you the basics of HTML. This course is basically targeted to beginners. I will assume that you have no idea what HTML is, and you're just a beginner into this. So let's get started. So if you are a pro developer, this course is not going to be useful for you. But for the beginners, let's buckle up and get started. What are the prerequisites for this series? Basically, you need to download a web browser because, of course, when you want to create a website, you need to have a web browser so that you can be able to see the changes that you've made in your code. So for me in this series, I'll be using Chrome. This is my favorite browser. You can use any browser of your choice. You could go with Safari, you could use Firefox, you could use Internet Explorer, or any other browser that you like. That doesn't really matter. The next thing that you will need to have is the text editor. A text editor is the tool that you'll be using for writing your code. For me, in this series, I'll be using Visual Studio Code. There are some other text editors that you could use, like WebStorm, Notepad++, and so many others. So to be able to download this text editor over here, which is free of charge, you can simply just go do a quick Google search, go over there and type Visual Studio Code, and once you go on your Google, after typing Visual Studio Code, the first option that you're going to see over here is probably going to be that one. So when you click that option, it depends on your browser. It depends on your operating system. I'm on a Mac, so it gives me an option for downloading a Mac, the Mac version of this application. If you're on Windows, Linux, or any other operating system, it will give you an option in according to your operating system. So you simply just click that button over here, download button, and after that it will download automatically. You can use this one over here or this button right here. They're all the same. Download this software, and after downloading it, simply just install it, just like the way you install any other app. You will have options for next, 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 and after installing, you'll be good to go. So your application, after that, just run that application, and it will come up just like this. You will have the welcome screen and so on, but I don't have them over here, so but I think it's not even a big deal. So just run that Visual Studio Code application that you've just downloaded, and you'll be good to go. The next thing that you also want to do is to go and start typing your code. So for prerequisites, there are only two: a browser and the text editor. So let's get started coding. So what do you do next? The next thing that you want to do right here is to go anywhere in your computer. It could be the desktop, it could be my documents, it could be the downloads, or anywhere you want, as long as you have the access to that directory in your computer. For me, I'm gonna go to this directory here. I named it HTML tutorials. So when you get in here, you can just create a directory. For me, since this is the introduction video, I will type over here one introduction, and just create any folder. You could name your folder anyhow. You could name it test, you could name it my code, you could name it anyhow you want. It doesn't even matter. So the next thing that I'm going to do is to drag this folder and drop it into the Visual Studio Code. Or if, okay, so let me just do it real quick. I just dropped this into Visual Studio Code. This is the welcome screen that I was talking about, but I'll just close it because it's just meaningless. So after dragging that dragging that folder, well, in programming, the folder directory, they are interchangeable, so sometimes I may be using these words interchangeably. So I hope you can be able to understand that. So after dragging that directory into my Visual Studio Code, you can see it's right here. It's written right here. So whatever name that you name, that name will be written right here. So my one was introduction, so it's written introduction. So if your one was let's say Mike or my code or any name, your name will show over here, just show that you are now on that particular directory. So the next thing that you're gonna have to do right here is to simply just go in here and start creating your files. Since we are learning HTML, there is something that you need to know, that all HTML code is written in the files with the extension of HTML. I mean file name .html. That means if you want to call your name, if you want to name your file, let's say about.html, that means this is an about page. Or if it is maybe contact, you can say contact.html. So for us, since we're just beginning, the first page that I'm going to create right here, I will name it index.html. So on your Visual Studio Code, you can just go over here and create a new file. Or it's not even necessary creating right here. You can even create that new file right here. I don't have that option for creating a new file over here, but if you're on Windows, it can allow you to create a new file right here on your directory. So for me, I'll just go over here and create a new file, and my new file, I will call it index.html. Mind you, very important, index.html. So I could name this anyhow I want. I could name it Mike.html. I could name it maybe code.html. I could name it maybe my code.html. Anyhow I want, but I wanted to name my one index.html. Right here, that's my file. Now, as you can see that once I've created this file over here, if I go to my directory over here, you can see that file is created automatically over here. It's called index.html. So this file is exactly to this file, so it doesn't even matter. So what should we do? Let's try to, you can see right here it has a Chrome icon. So if your default browser is Internet Explorer or Firefox, it will show that default browser icon right here. So let's double click that file and see what's going to happen to it. Okay, right here, once you double click, you can see that the directory right here, I'm talking about your browser, it's now directed to this file, index.html. So let's try to write something in this file. So as usual in programming, we have to say hello to the world. So I will write hello world. Okay, and after that, make sure that you save. This file is not saved yet. You can see from the icon right there, and it's even reminding you here, it's telling you it's unsaved. So I'm going to push Ctrl S to save this file. After saving that, you can see that the changes are not automatically shown, but once I refresh this page right here, it will show hello world right there. So I can actually change this to anyhow I want. You can tell that even though we haven't written any HTML in here, this file is working just like that. If I come over here and say, let's say, hello world, this is my first page. This is my first page. It works. And if I save this, you can see that everything is gonna show on my browser. Excuse me. If I come over here and choose save, once I refresh over here, you see everything has shown on the browser. So this is it for now. In the next video, we're gonna we're gonna dive a bit deeper, and we'll see what it is. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.